Alright, number 11. Got my pen tool working. Josh fills a swimming pool at the rate of 2,000 gallons per hour. There were 3,000 gallons of water in the pool when he started filling it. Alright, so we have enough info here to make a function, a linear function out of this. So his rate was 2,000 gallons per hour, 2,000x, but there were already 3,000 when he started filling it, so plus 3,000. Total number of gallons of water in the pool after Josh fills it for x hours can be represented by the equation y equals 2,000x plus 3,000. Well, what do you know? That's what we already came up with. If Josh adds a second hose, he can fill the pool twice as fast. So he's going to double the rate. You want to figure out what effect on this equation would doubling the rate of water flow into the pool would have. Well, it would double the slope here to change this to 4,000 gallons per x hours. So if we were graphing this, you need to keep in mind that, well, this would be a slope of 1. What would be a slope of 2? Would a slope of 2 be shallower, or would it be steeper? Well, if this was rise over run, 1 over 1, if we doubled it, 2 over 1, well, wouldn't a slope of 2 be a steeper line? So when we double a slope, it becomes steeper. So if we double the rate that he's filling the pool up with, the line will be steeper. It will have no effect on whether it will be translated up or translated down, because he still starts with 3,000 gallons in his pool. We don't alter the initial starting level of water in his pool. We just change the rate, so the line will be steeper. Alright, let's talk about Stephanie's store. The graph below shows the store's weekly sales since it opened. Okay. Weekly sales is the Y. Weeks since it opened is X. What can be inferred from the graph? Sales have been increasing since it opened. No, because sales stagnated then declined in these later weeks. Let's see here. Sales increased for the first 2 weeks, but then began to decrease. So here's week 1. Well, there were no sales for this week. And then week 2 increased, but we can see that there were several increases in weeks after that. C, the store's sales increased for the first 5 weeks after it opened. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because there were no increase right here. Store sales increased for 5 weeks. It was constant. Then it decreased, and that's what happened. It went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it stayed flat, and then it went down. So D is the answer for number 12. Okay, 13 and 14. Pen, activate. Good. Simplify the expression. Well, I see a distribution that we can do right here. We can take that 2/3 and multiply it times these two items in the parentheses. So 2/3 times 3x. I'm not going to tell you how to multiply that. You can do that on your calculator. But 2/3 times 3, I can go 2 times 3 divided by 3. So that would be 2x. 2/3 times negative 15 would be negative 10y. Plus, okay, that plus 1 distributes to both of these, so we can lose these parentheses. We can write plus 9y minus 11x, and we'll add like terms. 2x minus 11x would be negative 9x. 10y plus 9y, negative 10y plus 9y will be negative 1y. So there's the simplified expression. Let's talk about number 14 there for a minute. 14 is a little tricky here. We have two distributions we can do. We're going to take that 3n and distribute it here like this. So let's do that first. So 3n times negative 2 would be negative 6n. 3n times 5n would be a positive 15n. Okay, and let's bring that negative sign down here, and let's distribute this negative sign last. So I'm going to still keep a parentheses here, but now let's distribute this 5n to that n. So that'd be 5n squared. 5n times negative 1 would be negative 5n. Negative 2 times n would be negative 2n. And negative 2 times negative 1 would be positive 2. Now, we wrote all this in a parentheses because we still have this minus. This minus tells us, hey, take this quantity and subtract it from the product of this multiplication. So here's the product of our multiplication, of our foiling, and here's our subtraction sign. So there's still one more step we can do. We can distribute this whole subtraction over these 4 terms right here. So let's do that. 15n minus 6n minus 5n squared plus 5n plus 2n minus 2. And we'll combine like terms. And let me change colors here. Ooh, teal. Nice. 15n. There's an n term. There's an n term. N and then n terms. Let's combine all those n terms. So that will give us, let's see, 15 minus 6 is 9. Plus 5 would be 14. Plus 2 would be, so we get 16n minus 5n squared, or minus 5n squared minus 2. And we are left with all of these are